What's going on, people? It's your boy calwu here with another episode of Planetwu. A little while ago, I gave you my objective list for a top 10 anime that's important to the culture. Now I'm going to give you the top 10 subjective list. These are my top 10 personally that has either had some type of major effect on me, or I just enjoy so much that I would actually suggest them to anybody. So all of these anime have had a major effect on me personally. So, yeah. If you guys haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is the best way you can support me, and I appreciate everybody that do. Also, on top of that, you can hit the bell icon so you can be abreast to whenever I post any new episodes. And yeah, comment, share, all that good stuff. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start with my number 10. For my number 10, I chose the anime movie Kite, which is spelled kite, K-I-T-E. The reason Kite is my number 10 is because this is the first thing I watched that made me realize the difference between anime and American cartoons. I can remember like it was yesterday. The summer of 99. Yeah, the summer of 99. Just had moved over to the crib on Stopel. For those that know me, you know the house I stayed in on Stopel. Had just moved in over there. There's a Blockbuster around the corner. Me and my cousin Antoine pretty much was like, yeah, they got an anime section. Let's see what it is. Like, we don't even know what it is. Like, the boxes look sweet. They look like cartoons. Let's get it. So, and at that time, anime didn't have any ratings. So everything was NR. So me and my cousin Antoine could go there and rent them ourselves if we wanted to. So the first 3 anime we rented was Kite, Ninja Scrolls, Kite, Ayane High Kicks, and Shadow Skills was the first 3 anime that we rented. First thing we popped in was Kite. And boy, that blew our minds. The first 5 minutes of the film is filled with sex, violence, drugs, more sex, more violence, 2 deaths. And this is the first 5 minutes of it. I mean, like, blew our minds. And to kind of give you a context of what Kite is about. Kite is literally an anime about a secret organization that uses teenagers and kids to hunt molesters and rapists around the globe. And the ironic twist is the girl who's the main character, her guardian is a cop that pretty much adopted her from when her parents were murdered when she was a kid. But he also has sex with her. So he's a molester and a rapist himself. Like, that junk is uber crazy. But it blew our minds. And that started my obsession and my drive to seek and watch new anime. So that is why Kite is my number 10. My number 9 is My Hero Academia. The reason My Hero Academia is my number 9 and not other long-running anime series similar to it is that My Hero Academia has gone 4 seasons and has yet to make other characters in the series useless because the main character can do any and everything by himself. Granted, they have moments where the main character does do things that is like, yo, that should be beyond his years. But one of the things that the series does that don't know other series do is they show the difference in skill and experience. For example, in the 4th season, Midoriya fights this guy named the Gentle Criminal, whose power is whatever he touches, he can turn into rubber. It has a rubber-like effect. Where we all know Midoriya Deku has the one for all. And even with his one for all and how stronger his quirk is, he still was getting bodied by the Gentle Criminal, because the Gentle Criminal is a lot more experienced with his powers. He's a lot more clever. He doesn't have a combat power, but he can use it for combat purposes. And he was making Midoriya look stupid, like super dumb. Even also to the point where when the main character ran into Stain in season 2, if I'm not mistaken, season 1 or season 2, he ran into Stain, the hero killer, which was literally a guy, an anti-hero is what I'm going to call him. I was running around killing heroes because he felt that heroes shouldn't be as many heroes. If you're not top notch, you shouldn't be a hero. And so he was killing what he deemed false heroes. It took 3 of the kids to kill him, or beat him. Not even kill him. It took 3 of the kids to beat him. And they still almost lost. And one of them could have easily lost his life. Not to mention, the storytelling is really good. I think it's one of the best written anime in the last 10 or 15 years. I've said it if you heard like any of my interviews where I interviewed any cosplayers previously, and I made this statement. I'm always met with flack with this statement, but I'm willing to do anybody to argue with me. I'm willing to do an episode with anybody arguing with me. This statement about anime in the last 10 or 15 years that came out in the last 10 or 15 years and is still ongoing. I'm willing to argue with anybody. My number 8 is a slash. Samurai Champloo / Cowboy Bebop. The reason it's a slash is because both series were created by the same studio. And both series have similar elements, but different in the sense where Cowboy Bebop is surrounded around jazz and Samurai Champloo is surrounded around hip-hop. Both are masterfully written short series. Should definitely be a staple in anybody who's just coming out and just starting to watch anime. I think so you don't feel overwhelmed. These are 2 great series to start with that kind of get your feet wet. Got a really good balance of story, really good balance in action, really good balance in character developments, as well as plot and storytelling. They're fantastic. And Samurai Champloo to the point of I have relatives, like cousins of mine, that don't even watch anime. But my cousin Chuck, for example, he'll blast Samurai Champloo soundtrack all day if given a chance to. Because he heard me listen to it, was like, yo, cuz, what's that? That's fire. Because when I first started doing music, I was writing and listening to a lot of Samurai Champloo soundtrack, because I got the whole 50 song soundtrack or whatever. And I would listen to it and write to it and stuff, and he like, yo, these are fire, and he just started listening to them himself, and he learned the name Samurai Champloo from that. And he still hasn't, but he has agreed to come on the show and to start watching anime and allow me to get his thoughts and ideas for you guys as somebody that don't watch anime and is getting into it. So soon as this whole pandemic is over, I'll be bringing that content to you as well. My number 7 is Tales from Earthsea. Tales from Earthsea is a Studio Ghibli or Studio Ghibli movie about a young wizard named Sparrowhawk who pretty much eventually saves the world by rescuing his princess from this villain named Cobb. Reason this is on my list is because Cobb is one of the most creepiest villains I've ever dealt with in an anime series. In anime so far, there's been 3 villains that has creeped me out to the point where they've entered my dreams and I've dreamt about them and woke up in cold sweats. Cobb is one of them. Number 2 is Ai Magasi from the anime Babylon, which is a newer series. I would love to see more of that series. Hopefully it comes back, but we're not going to talk about Babylon. And number 3 is what's his name? Oh my goodness, I can't think of what the Jesus. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. But it's the little boy from freaking Monster. Starts with a J. It's a German name. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. When it pop in my head, I'm gonna say it. But yeah, Tales of Earthsea had master storytelling. I love the character development. A lot of the anime on my list is really big on storytelling and character development and things of that nature. But yeah, so that's why Tales from Earthsea is my number 7. My number 6 is Wolf's Rain. For those that have not seen Wolf's Rain, you are missing out. Wolf's Rain is another good series to kind of get in early on if you just want something with a lot of story with some action, but it's mostly story. Wolf's Rain is an anime about main character Kiba, who's actually a wolf. Wolves are supposed to be extinct because the world pretty much hunted them to extinction. So they thought. Wolves gain the ability to cast illusion spells on themselves to make themselves look and act human. So whenever we in the real world would perceive them, they would be perceived as humans. Kiba comes to this town because he senses this lunar flower. While he's there, he ends up running into other wolves, and they pretty much is trying to find this girl from this prophecy that's supposed to take them to paradise. Because when the world ends, there's paradise is supposed to appear, and only wolves is supposed to be able to find paradise. It got really good storytelling. You got this cat and mouse game between this hunter that's still hunting wolves. He's obsessed with hunting wolves, and these wolves trying to Kiba and the other wolves are trying to like survive in this world where that's poverty stricken and pretty much on his last legs. Yeah, so that's why Wolf Rain is my number 6. My number 5 is Gundam Wing. The reason Gundam Wing is my number 5 is because it has my favorite Gundam character in all the Gundam series that I've seen, which is Chang Wu-Fei. One of the things that made me appreciate Gundam Wing so much, first off, it's the first Gundam series and the first mecha anime that I got into like really, really big. Second of all, each main character, which were the 5 Gundam pilots, had their own background. On top of being like a team, or that was like kind of like a loose term because they didn't train with each other. They just knew of each other and was like, okay, you got the Shenlong, you got the Death Scythe, you got the Sandrock, you know what I'm saying? You got the each Gundam, it's like, okay, you got these special Gundams and we all fighting against the power. Cool. We can exist on a battlefield together, but for the most part, we don't. We by ourselves, individually dealing with stuff. But each character had their own storyline. They all had their own backstory that got brought to light. And Gundam Wing Endless Waltz is one of my favorite anime movies, period. In my top 5. Where my boy, Wu-Fei, beat the hell out of main character Hiro, who is the main gun pilot, beat the brakes off of him. I remember having arguments in high school with classmates about who was the better pilot, who would win in a fight, and then Endless Waltz dropped. An argument over. I was right, they was wrong, because I was literally the only person saying that. Everybody else was on Hero's side. talking about, oh, the Wing Zero can see the future. And the future he saw was getting mollywopped, because that's exactly what happened. That's a rant for another time. I'm going to save that one. So yeah, that's why Gundam Wing is my number 5. My number 4 is Inuyashiki. Inuyashiki is my number 4 because I think that the storytelling was amazing. It gave us a protagonist-antagonist duo that we've never seen before, where the protagonist was a 62-year-old, or he was between 62 or 65. I don't remember exactly, but a 60-year-old man who was dying of cancer. Family was in disarray. Wife ain't mess with him. He literally slept in a room by himself. And while he was in a park, just lamenting his shitty life, a spaceship materialized where he was standing and blew him the fuck up, like erased him from existence. Then you heard voices from the ship say, reconstruct him. So they reconstructed a machine body for him and put his conscience into it. And this is where the series starts. Where your antagonist is a 16-year-old high school kid that becomes a serial killer because he can't feel emotions. And he only feels alive when he's killing people. Where Inuyashiki, which is the old man's last name, he feels alive when he's saving people. So you got this great hero-villain back and forth. And honestly, actually, my number 3 villain, you can go ahead and give it to the antagonist in Inuyashiki. I still can't remember his name. And Johan was the name I was trying to think of for Monster. But no, because this kid was way sicker than Johan. Johan plotted over time. This kid, he was messed up in the head. Yeah, just messed up in the head. Inuyashiki, if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. It came out in 2018. It's an amazing series. It's from the writers of Gantz. They also make Gantz references in it. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's an amazing, the short series. It's only 11 episodes, and it feels long, and it's complete. And it is very completed in that short 11 episode span. It's amazing. You should watch it. My number 3 is Yu Yu Hakusho. First and foremost, Yu Yu Hakusho is one of those anime that no matter whether you listen to it in Japanese or you listen to it in English, it's amazing. It got great voice actors both ways. It's one of the few that does. I can definitely watch it either way. Theme song. The theme song is the same instrumental, and even when it's in Japanese and in English, it still has that infectious feel that you're always going to remember. And it actually uses the same melody in both languages, which actually goes with the beat, dun, 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 dun. And it is amazing. And then the show has great characters, has great character development. The plot is okay, but it is literally the grandfather to Bleach. It's literally what Bleach wants to be, but fails to be. Bleach started off so great, but fell way short of what Yu Yu Hakusho is. If you want an older series and kind of get into it, and that's a martial arts / like demon fighting in hell series and like trying to save the world, Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely the anime you should watch. It's just amazing, and it feels good whenever you watch it. So that's why Yu Yu Hakusho is my number 3. My number 2 is Golden Boy. The reason Golden Boy is my number 2 is because Golden Boy is hilarious. It's one of the like, you see a lot now in anime where they mix ecchi with comedy, but Golden Boy was masterful with his ecchi comedy. So about the main character, Ken, I think is his name, if I'm not mistaken. He pretty much drops out of school and doesn't want to be in school anymore. So he just starts traveling. And in his travel, his goal is to pretty much smash every pretty chick he comes across. And he challenges them and does all of these amazing things. Like, one of the most amazing things to me is he challenged a chick who was a street racer. I think she had like a Ferrari or something. Or her car was similar to a Ferrari. That he can beat her in her Ferrari while he's on a bike down like one of the race paths down this mountain. And they race, and he actually wins. And the bet was, if I win, I'm smashing you. And she's like, okay, but you're not gonna win, so I'm not worried about it. It's ridiculous. He actually wins. He races another chick who's like a swimmer. He can't swim. Like, this boy don't care. He'll do any and everything to get some. And it's just amazing. The writing is amazing. The comedy is amazing. The punches are well placed. The animation that matched the punches are all well placed. It's perfectly placed. And you know what I'm saying? And Golden Boy is one of my son's nicknames, because, you know what I'm saying, like most kids, when they're babies or whatever, they have this like obsession with boobs, because that's where milk comes from. And my son pretty much did it with any female that, if you was flat chested when he was a baby, he didn't want to deal with you. But if you had boobs, he was all in. He was in love with you. So that's also one of my son's nicknames. So that's another thing. So it's personal to my life. So that's another reason why Golden Boy is my number 2. My number 1 is Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple. The reason Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple is my number 1, because it gave us great character development. It gave us great storylines. It gave us a great main character. And not to mention the simple fact that Kenichi is the master of the talk no jutsu. Kenichi has converted more villains into being bad guys than any other anime character, period. You can talk about Naruto. He killed Naruto in that junk. You can talk about Goku. Killed Goku in that junk. And Goku had all the way from Dragon Ball all the way up until Z. And Kenichi still converted more people. Boy. And one of the great things is that the anime gave us not only Kenichi's story and background, but it gave us every character's story and background. You actually could connect and understand why every character did what they did, why they the way that they were, why they have a change of mind or a change of thought after they interact with Kenichi. Just everything about it is great. You got your ecchi comedy, you got your regular comedy, you got your slapstick comedy, you got like serious moments. All the fight scenes were extra dope. And then all of the masters of the Ryo Zanbakuto were amazing. They all had their stories told in the series. All of them had their own personalities and quirk. All of them deal with each other in a different manner, and then they all deal with Kenichi in a different manner. But one thing that they all got in common is they're all trying to kill Kenichi with their training. Because their thought process is if you can't handle the training enough to survive, then you deserve to be dead anyways. That's the Ryo Zanbakuto way. What else is great about it? Dog, like, I'm gonna give you an example. One of my favorite ecchi moments is the master of karate was teaching Kenichi, like, he was having Kenichi like walking, like do like this and like step forward, and was like showing him this like counter move, like on how to catch kicks with it. And then he was like, let me show you an application. So he had Kenichi's classmate, I can't think of the girl's name because it's been a while since I've seen it, but she is the granddaughter to the main master of the Ryo Zanbakuto. And he was like, I think her name might have been Mai. Throw a kick at me. So she throws this kick. So he catches her kick using the technique. And then like she got big boobs. So he catches her leg using the technique and then like rings his head around like this. And like in her boobs, like kind of like motorboat her boobs, but without his mouth, but with his head. And then she just started running around just chasing, like, I'm gonna kill you for that. So Kenichi, the train, he actually was like walking around doing it and like ringing his head around and then stepping and doing the other way and ringing his head around while they was running around in the background. Hilarious. One of the funniest moments in anime, period. Like, that junk brought me to tears. And then a lot of the martial arts in the anime is really cool. Like, you had one guy that had like this weird opera singer dude who had like this weird martial arts. He actually had a similar martial arts to the paper guy in Kung Fu Hustle. There you go. Like the paper guy in Kung Fu Hustle. He actually had a weird like fighting style that was like that. That was all about counter. Like after he get hit, he would like lower the blow by like spinning and then smack you back. It was interesting. Then it had like sumo wrestling. You had like kendo and like all these like Muay Thai and ninjutsu and just all these different martial arts. And just watching Kenichi learn 9 different martial arts and then him applying it in school when he actually a pacifist and really don't want to fight, but he get put in these moments where they like, yeah, you gotta fight. To the funny scenes of him being confused for a gang member, because when his classmates like, yeah, we bringing everybody into the army. So you got other rival gangs from other schools, rival gangs from around the city that got teenagers in them, just challenging them fights like, oh yeah, we heard you was a part of this gang and you the leader. And he like, bro, what gang? I'm not even in no gang. I don't even do no gang stuff. I'm just a kid learning martial arts, just trying to go to school. And I just learned the martial arts because I don't want to get bullied no more. That's it. And just, the series is a short run series, but from start to finish is amazing. I would definitely love to see Kenichi get remade. Another reason why Kenichi is my number 1, because on top of Golden Boy being my son's nickname, Kenichi was actually almost my son's name. Me and his mother loved that anime so much that we were gonna name him Kenichi. But then I was like, yo, this is my first son, this is our first child. You know what I'm saying? This is my first child. This is both our first child. My first son gotta be a junior. And she was like, okay, we have another son, his name gonna be Kenichi. I'm like, hell yeah, that's for a fact. So yeah, so that's another reason. Like I said, once again, this is my subjective list. These are important to me because they, like, this whole top 10 list is all subjective. They all are important to me. They all hold great value to me in my life and the things that I've gone through and experienced. And you know what I'm saying? And these don't hold any type of weight over anybody else. But I would most definitely like to see what other people top 10 lists. So please comment, like, share this video and comment. Tell me what your top 10 list is in this comment, man. I want to know. And let's chat it up. Let's talk. So yeah, so this is calwu from planetwu. Go ahead and follow me on all social medias. Like I said, join the Facebook page. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram. Also, Throne of Nerds have been gone for about a month and a half, roughly. I'm bringing that back. If you want to participate, go ahead and shoot me an email. I got the email attached to the account, or hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. Let me know if you want to participate. Winner, like, we're gonna have a final series at the end of the year. The winner is going to get $500. This is $500 of free money that all you have to do is participate and ask questions or answer questions. This is the Throne of Nerds series of mine. You can look it up online. I'll be re-uploading episodes on this new channel for planetwu, and you can actually get a chance and look and kind of see what it's about. And if you want to participate, if you're interested in participating, please do. Come on. Like I said, I'm giving away $500 to anybody that to the champion that win at the end of the year for the grand champion. $500 in your account from me. So yeah, once again, it's your boy calwu planetwu. I appreciate y'all, and yeah, I'm signing off. Peace.